If you're a Texas parent, this matters. Hear me out. I'm a proud parent of Texas public school students, and I'm a former public school teacher here in Texas. I believe deeply in public education. My own kids attend a great public school where their needs are met every day. But I also know that isn't true for every family in Texas, and that's why I'm paying close attention to the Texas Education Freedom Accounts program. For some families, the neighborhood school just isn't the right fit. Some kids learn differently, some have special needs. Others aren't achieving the academic outcomes their families know they're capable of. This program gives families more options by allowing public education dollars to follow the student, and it prioritizes low and middle income families and those with special needs students. Eligible families can use these funds for private school tuition, out-of-boundary district or charter schools, including online options, and other education-related expenses like pre-K, tutoring, curriculum, books, and even transportation to school. Here's what that looks like in real numbers. Participating families can receive roughly $10,000, that's about 85% of what public schools receive. Students with disabilities can receive up to $30,000 depending on their needs, and homeschooling families can receive up to $2,000. Applications for the 2026-2027 school year open this week and close March 17th. You'll need documentation like Social Security and taxpayer ID numbers, recent tax returns, and proof of Texas residency. Optional documents like IEP documentation can help with your prioritization or additional funding. If spots are filled up, funding is not given out first come, first served. It's given out by a lottery system. More than 1,300 schools are already part of the program, and more are joining daily.
Well, that was just a clip to help those of you who are wondering what are these TEFA funds and who qualifies for them. And as the gentleman just told us, TEFA, of course, is standing for Texas Education Freedom Account. Those funds are for various reasons, for various groups of people, including private school and homeschooling students and families who are looking to offset the costs of homeschooling and the cost of putting your child in private school. As he correctly said, it is $10,000 if you're looking to a private school, and $2,000 if it's for a homeschooling, option, which is great. I think at every opportunity that homeschooling parents can be given to offset the costs of homeschooling their children because they're tax-paying citizens, right? If for no other reason than for the fact that we pay taxes like everyone else, then there should be some assistance in that area if you so desire. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that this is for everyone. Our family doesn't need the funds, but there are plenty of families who do. And as often as this particular topic is in the news, I want to continue to circulate the idea that you don't have to feel bad or ashamed if you need to use the funds. There's nothing shameful about it. I appreciate families and parents and caregivers who are looking for opportunities to homeschool their children. That's just the most beautiful thing because it's such a labor of love. It's such it's a labor of love. Just keep it that way. I know I have 4, okay? And if you want to homeschool your children, but you need a little help, that is okay. And that is what this program is for. We're talking about not only TEFA funds, but also UIL activities. Now, for those of you who are wondering what in the world is UIL, UIL just simply stands for University Interscholastic League, UIL. And what it means and what it does is it allows homeschooling families, in particular their children, to participate in activities that they otherwise would be able to, such as, the arts and drama and sports and things like that. Particularly sports is a big one. And a lot of parents have been wanting this for many, many years. This has been on the fence for a very long time, but finally that has come through and it's been successful. So you're able to now enroll your children in some of these activities if you so choose. The challenge, however, that we've been noticing is that 68% of districts have opted out of participation in that particular regard for homeschool students to participate. And that's kind of problematic because if you think about it, the state of Texas has finally pushed this through where homeschooling students can now have equal access to these activities so that they are, involved in extracurricular programs. And then you have school districts who are saying now that they do not want to be a part of that. So now that we have many local districts opting out of, this wonderful opportunity that's been granted to homeschooling families, what exactly does that mean for homeschooling families, and what does that mean for how they view homeschoolers? And I will be the one to say that we still have a lot of work to do. Parents who are homeschooling their children are equally valuable in society as anyone else. They've simply chosen to alleviate the burden of educating the child off of the public system. That's all. They've literally just said, "Hey, I will take on that burden." I don't think of homeschooling as a burden. It's actually a gift, and it's this beautiful gift because a lot of countries, places in Europe, do not allow it. So while we still can, we want to be able to take advantage of it. But I'll say this, we're simply transferring that responsibility onto the parents, and they shouldn't be punished for it. They should be encouraged, and people should be, and policymakers should be creating policies to encourage families to do that. So that's why I appreciate TEFA so much. I appreciate that program, and even UIL now coming through. The challenge right now we're having is that districts are opting out. Now I want to show a quick video of someone who is basically saying what I've been saying all along. Homeschooling families are not a problem. Their children are not problems within the UIO programs.
This is Jamie Harrison, right?
Yes.
I've never met him.
We've met. Mr. Chairman, members, my name is Jamie Harrison. I'm the Executive Director with UIL. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Jamie, in terms of this issue's been around for a while. And I assume that you've had to deal with it as a representative of the UIL. Can you kind of give us an idea of what the pros and cons that you've heard from school districts as it relates to children that are homeschool's participation in UIL activities?
Yes, sir. We've heard a wide variety of stories from school districts on this matter. As Senator Paxton in her layout mentioned, I think there was a concern that should this pass, going back years ago, it could open the door to all kinds of shenanigans. What we have found is that has not been the case. There's not, we to this day do not have a single example of an issue with a homeschool student participating or group of homeschool students participating in a school district where anybody feels like the playing field has been unleveled or that they have gained a competitive advantage.
Wow, who knew? There has not been a single case, says this representative, this UIL representative, of a homeschooling family or group of homeschoolers who have gained, first of all, who've been problematic or troublesome, but who have gained any competitive advantage over still using that program, still using the system. Not a single case. And so with that being said, I want to encourage parents to, pursue that outlet if it's appropriate for your family. And do so with courage and bravery. Don't worry if the district is, kind of shut doors on you. Just go to a different district. 68% have opted out. Keep in mind that might change in the future. So none of this is really set in stone. But continue to pursue that if it fits your family and if it fits your, your expectations of a full homeschooling experience for your child. And perhaps you want them to have some, social experience and things like that as well. But on the other side, keep in mind that the homeschooling family has every right to homeschool. Parents have every right to homeschool their own offspring. It is the burden of proof rests on these institutions and policymakers to prove that homeschooling is invalid or is incapable of producing, educated academic students to the same degree of the public school counterparts. So you are in the right. You are in the right position. You're in the right place. And if you feel sometimes, the way the language is used, it seems, it could make a parent feel uncomfortable, or make you feel, like you second guess yourself, and maybe this isn't right. I just thought I was doing the right thing. You are doing the right thing. I want to encourage you. You are doing the right thing, regardless of what the policymakers are saying, and regardless of how they're probably making you feel or impressing that on you. You're doing a beautiful thing. And if you have only one cheerleader in your corner, let it be me. I am here to cheerlead you on and to encourage you that, when you choose to homeschool your child, as long as you're doing it, correctly and properly. And by that, there is no right or wrong, but, you hear stories of neglect and things like that, and child doesn't learn for weeks and weeks at a time. But as long as you're making an effort and you're documenting that effort, and if you need help, Heroes Mart Academy, I co-founder, I am here to help you. But we are here to help one another and to encourage one another so that you can feel comfortable raising your child in your country the way you see fit under the inspiration of God. And people who want to use the public school system can feel comfortable doing that as well. So everyone has that level of comfort and are able to rest easy in it. Thanks so much for joining me again today. This has been Juanita with Homeschool Now. It's always good to have you. And until next time, God bless.